At this point, I'm going to turn the program over to a man that I've known for quite some time who was instrumental in bringing the person here today that we're here to celebrate. He is the president and CEO of the Greater Baltimore Committee, but more importantly today, he led the search efforts that brought our new athletic director here to Towson. So turn it over at this point, Don Fry.
Ray, thank you very much, and thank you all for coming to this very exciting announcement for a new chapter for Towson University and Towson Athletics. At this time, it's my pleasure to present to you the new athletic director for Towson University, Tim Leonard, and his family. I'll just make a few brief comments before I turn it over to President Lusky. I've had the pleasure and honor of serving as the chair of the search committee for the last 2 months. And I say this an honor and a privilege because President Lusky selected an incredible and exceptional committee of both internal and external supporters of Towson University to take up this very important task. I've had the privilege of serving on a number of selection committees or search committees in the past, and I have to tell you that none of them has ever met the commitment, the dedication, and loyalty that was demonstrated by the team that President Lusky put together on this group. I thank each of them for their hard work during these 2 months, which actually is not a very long period of time, but for a 2-month process, and for them helping them and their work and making us have a very special day today. So this time I know a number of them here. With the members of the search committee that are here today, please stand up so they can be recognized. Special thanks have to go to a number of people. Jen Gajewski, who's the President's Chief of Staff, you all know, who served as a member of the search committee and was a key partner in this entire process. Plus, she managed not to go into labor during this process, which is a very critical part of our concern as we move forward. Also, Cassie Bennett. Cassie was very instrumental with all the logistical and planning support for our meetings and a lot of other help. So, Cassie, thank you very much. I think a special recognition has to be expressed to Bill Carr of Carr Sports Consulting. Hiring Bill Carr was the first decision that we made, and I have to say that it got us started off on the process with the right foot. Bill served as a search consultant. He provided enormous insight and about just how we go through an effective search process. He demonstrated remarkable skill and knowledge of the collegiate athletic industry, and his services were truly instrumental in bringing us here today and the introduction of today's athletic director. Although the search process was relatively short, it was only 2 months ago, I think almost 2 months ago today, that the search committee was formed. It was inclusive, it was transparent, but it was very thorough. Following a process that Bill Carr helped develop with us, members of the Towson University community were surveyed, they were interviewed about the quality, the characteristics, what they wanted to see in an athletic director, and also what the challenges were going to be for the next athletic director at Towson University. From that input, a ideal candidate profile was developed, and that ideal candidate profile, approved by President Lusky, was circulated among many in the community, and we received a tremendous response. Over 50 people submitted interest in the job for Towson University. Bill Carr tells us that the Towson Athletic Director job was one of the, if not the, hottest jobs in the country regarding the athletic area. So we're very pleased to know of that. The search committee evaluated each and every resume, letter of interest, reference, and whittled the group down to 12 initially, and then ultimately down to 6. And then we conducted interviews of those final 6 along with President Lusky. The list of 6 candidates was a very strong pool. They all had very strong qualities and all had varying degrees of experience that they could bring to the university. But one person, I think, stood out head and shoulders over everyone else that actually met that ideal candidate profile, and that was Tim Leonard. So we did, I think, what President Lusky asked us to do at that very first meeting. She said to me, find a strong candidate that has the same principles and philosophy as Towson University community regarding academic and athletic achievement, someone who possesses the background and experience to drive the momentum that Towson Athletics has enjoyed over the past couple of years and carry forward that excitement that's been created on campus during this period of time. And she made it clear that she did not want to make a hire to maintain the status quo, but wanted to build on the momentum and success that Towson Athletics has enjoyed of late. So President Lusky, on behalf of the Athletic Director Search Committee, we thank you for allowing us to be a part of the process and for recognizing the significance of building on the recent momentum and accomplishments. And we're confident that with your selection of Tim Leonard, that even better days are ahead for Towson University's athletic program. It's my pleasure to present, of course, President Lusky.
I want to thank Don Fry. I've been involved in search committees almost all of my professional life, and I don't know what a better chair of a search committee could possibly look like. Don is one of the busiest, most respected members of our community, and he gave his time so selflessly to guiding this process. The search committee was made up of a student, a football player, Arnold Farmer, Jennifer Gajewski, Gail Gasparich, Barry Gossett, who is a regent. And there's another very busy person who came and made this happen in a 2-month period of time. Lance Johnson from the Alumni Association, Sonia LaMonica, one of our wonderful coaches, Jeff Leventhal, Bobby Madison, Denny Mather, Deb Moriarty, Pat Scarry, Fran Soisman, and then with the help of Cassie Bennett and Mark Bem, this group was able to do in 2 months period of time what you're seeing today. It's almost impossible. They did it beautifully. We wanted to make sure that our new athletic director was in place by fall. I do want to thank Bill Carr for his guidance. He was extraordinary. And I also want to take a moment to thank Tricia Bradenberg, our interim athletic director. Is Tricia here? I did not see her. I'm sure she's out working. She did a superb job of being our interim in this 2-month period of time. Out of the blue, she had to jump into that role, and she was great at that. I also want to recognize that we have Myrna Carden in the room, who's the chair of our Board of Visitors, and that group helped to inform the profile of the ideal candidate. I want to now welcome, very formally and lovingly, supportively to our family, our new athletic director, Tim Leonard, his wife, Monica. So Monica, I'm going to ask you to stand up. We'll save for Tim in just a minute. Monica, a new member of our family. And Haley, their daughter, Haley. And Nathan, their son. Tim's love for athletics is surpassed by one thing, and that's his love for this beautiful family. Tim comes to us from Southern Methodist University in Dallas, Texas, where he was for 5 years, and where he was the senior associate athletic director with special responsibilities for external affairs and fundraising. Before that, he was the associate AD for 9 years at Central Florida. Before that, he was the assistant director of the Bronco Athletic Association at Boise State. And as a young'un, he was also the director of annual giving in the athletic department at Illinois State. At Southern Methodist, Tim helped oversee 17 sports and 450 athletes. And under his supervision, the annual fund and total giving tripled. And $130 million in gifts and pledges were raised for athletics in their capital campaign. He was named the Collegiate Fundraiser of the Year by his peers. Tim has extensive experience in budget management, compliance, and gender equity. He was involved with the creation of a program for at-risk student athletes and many other support programs for our academic programs for our athletes. He has extensive experience in creating visions for athletics and then creating inclusively strategic plans to get them accomplished. He also has done a great deal of facility opening, managing, planning, renovation, something we know a lot about here at Towson, and welcome his continued support in helping us continue that. As Don said, this was an incredibly competitive search. And the search committee and I were united at the end of the day. The candidates all met with the search team, and then they met with me. And then when the search team and I come together, wondering what the other one is thinking, hoping we're on the same page. This is what we all unanimously saw in Tim. Experience across the spectrum of athletics, integrity, passion and energy, an outstanding track record in fundraising, and a belief that Towson can reach new levels of support. A devotion to students and their welfare on all levels. An ability to be an essential member of our President's Council that oversees the wellness of the entire university. An unfailing commitment to excellence and achieving a competitive program. Belief that all of our academic programs need to be competitive. Respect for gender equity. A leadership style that empowers his staff to make decisions, and he's not real interested in micromanagement. He is a character model, a role model for all of us, particularly for our young athletes. He has a strong commitment to civility and leadership development for our athletes. He has clarity and communication skills and an excitement about vision and a very long-standing awareness and respect for Towson University, both academically and our sports program. And lastly, we all saw his humor. When we asked him to describe the most rewarding experience of his career, Tim said, well, I have two. The first was as the sports supervisor of women's tennis, traveling to the conference tournament and winning the conference championship and then beating Texas A&M in the first round of the NCAA tournament. Pretty cool. And second was the opening of the athletics complex at Central Florida after developing the vision and planning and resources to build the $300 million facility. This is what Tim says. I enjoy life and the energy it provides. I desire to lead a department where we teach our young athletes to excel in everything they do and instill a championship effort and attitude. He said, my vision is to be competitive in all of our sports and use the concepts of integrity, ethics, philanthropy, partnerships, leadership, humility, dedication, work ethic, teamwork, entrepreneurship, and a champion spirit and a commitment of athletics to enhance the university and its mission. Before I introduce Tim, I want to end by combining quotes from two of my favorite athletes. Muhammad Ali said, champions are made from something they have deep inside, a desire, a dream, a vision. And Michael Jordan said, talent wins games, but teamwork and intelligence wins championships. So it is very clear to all of us that we have a champion who is going to help us make champions. I introduce you with the most energetic enthusiasm I maybe have ever had to our new athletic director, Tim Leonard.
Thank you very, very much, and thank you for those kind words. Wow, I hope my mother's watching. She'd be very proud. I am so excited to be a Towson Tiger. One, because it was 106 degrees in Dallas, Texas yesterday when we left. So it is so nice to be here in this enticing weather. But, we got in actually at 2 a.m. this morning at the hotel. So It's going to be a long day today, but when we first got into our room, first thing we wanted to do was look out the window and see the campus, and we are just so excited, my family and I, to be here. We think this is going to be a great opportunity. It's a great university, and we are thrilled to be a part of it. There are a number of people I need to thank for this opportunity. First, I also want to echo the sentiments about Bill Carr, the search consultant from Carr Sports Associates. If it wasn't for Bill, I wouldn't be here today. Bill is the one who called me about this opportunity, and we talked about this opportunity. I obviously knew about Towson and its proud heritage, but he was the one who told me about the profile that they were looking for and telling me that, Tim, this is a great place for you. It is a great fit for you. You really should take a look at it. And so I thank him for doing that because, boy, it led to this, and we are just so excited. I also want to thank Don Fry and the search committee. When I walked into that room and visited with everyone in there, it was obvious the passion that was in that room, the passion for Towson University, but also the commitment to having a nationally competitive athletics program. And if you're an athletics director, that's what you want. You want to be at a university that wants to have a total person program, but one that's committed to being competitive. And I certainly sensed that from the search committee. And then I also want to thank President Lusky. We had a great conversation when I was here for the interview. To be honest, I knew within 15 minutes of the beginning of our conversation that not only A, did I want this job, but that B, I was going to get the job. It is, I know that sounds awful, and I don't mean it that way, but it was just this sense. It was like a sixth sense that just came over me, and I knew it was right. And just enjoyed the conversation that we had and her vision for this university and knowing that she was going to be somebody I wanted to work with and that she would work with me. And that's what, as an athletics director, you want from a president. So I'm just, again, thrilled that it worked out. I also want to thank Tricia Bradenberg for serving as the interim athletics director. I've done that before, and I understand what a thankless job that is. And so I want to make sure that she does get thanked, because from what I can tell, she did a great job in the interim. I also want to thank all of the athletics directors that have been here before me, from Dr. Minigan all the way to Mike Waddell. They have done a great job in building this program, and I certainly hope that I can follow in their tradition and the hard work and the vision and the programs that they have established. And it is certainly my goal that we will build upon that and continue to take it to a whole nother level. Personally, you'll please have to bear with me. Now, I do have a lot of people I need to thank. I'm going to try to minimize some of this. But first, I have to thank my family. My wife, Monica, and my daughter, Haley, and son, Nathan. They have made so many sacrifices in their lives for me to be on this journey and have a career in intercollegiate athletics. This is the only career I've ever had. It's the only career I ever want to have. And they have been a key part of it. They've been a part of this journey with me every step of the way, literally. We started our family at the same time I started my career, and they have moved and given up friends and started new schools and many times, and I thank you all. And I got to go off my notes here. When President Lusky was mentioning some of her quotes from her favorite athletes, one of them happens to be mine. You can tell I was a young person when we started our family. My son's middle name is Michael, and my daughter's middle name is Jordan. So. I am a true sports fan. I love sports. So I also want to thank the people at Southern Methodist University. They have been great to me these last 5 years, from the new athletics director, Rick Hart, to the vice president, Brad Cheeves, and Pam Conlon, and President Turner. They have been great. They've empowered me and allowed me to do things there and it's just been a lot of fun. We had a great ride there, and I get embarrassed when they mention the numbers as if I had everything to do with that. There were people that were writing the checks, not me. I just happened to be the guy in the position that could talk with those folks and help them achieve something they wanted to do with our program. And there's been a lot of people that I have to thank for helping me prepare for this day, starting 21, 22 years ago at Boise State University with Gene Blamire and Bob Madden, and then working Ron Wellman at Illinois State, who gave me my first professional job in this industry, to Steve Sloan at UCF, who taught me what it means to be a true gentleman. There's just so many coaches, Dirk Cutter and Todd Berry and all these guys that have been very important to me along the way. But there's three people that really stand out that I have to thank, that have really influenced me in my thinking and preparation for this job. One, my mentor, Steve Orsini. He was one of my athletics directors at UCF. Worked with him there for 5 years, and about 5 years at Southern Methodist. He brought me out there, and Steve really is the one who taught me how to think boldly, to have vision, and how to push yourself. And so I hope I can take those same traits here and instill that into the Towson University family. I also want to thank a good friend of mine, the football coach at University of Central Florida, George O'Leary. George is a unique individual, but is a good friend and has been so good to me and my family, and really taught me from a coach's perspective things that I need to think of as an administrator. What is important to coaches? What is it that coaches need, and how can an administrator help them? George was patient and took the time to talk to me about those things, and so I'll always be thankful to him for that. And I also have to thank my man Larry Brown, Hall of Famer Larry Brown, as I always like to tell my family. They laugh about it every time. As soon as I say Larry Brown, they go, Hall of Famer Larry Brown. He was our new basketball coach at SMU, and has just been a special friend in a very short period of time that we've gotten to know each other. Boy, you talk about a wealth of knowledge and getting to be around someone. It was just great to learn about passion for sports, passion for competition, and passion for your players and people. I mean, he taught me. I learned from watching him on how to treat people. He is the best at that. And if it wasn't for Larry, I'm not sure I get this job. I mean, he said some really kind things, and very appreciative for him. In terms of the job, I will start work here officially on Monday, August 19th. So it's going to be a quick turnaround for me, but I'm thrilled. I'm anxious to get here, get engaged in the campus, and get engaged in the greater Baltimore community. It's, I think, going to be a great ride, and really looking forward to it. To our coaches and staff that are here, I look forward to working with you and trying to figure out how we can provide the resources necessary that you need to be able to compete at a national level. To our university administration, to the faculty and staff, I would tell you that I am really looking forward to being your partner and working to develop an athletics program that is co-curricular. And I think that athletics is not just a learning lab for the 400 to 500 student athletes that are on campus, but it's also a vital part of the undergraduate experience at a university. And I want that to be a core part of this university. We want to be involved in the university. Most importantly, I want to tell our student athletes that I really look forward to helping you develop a championship effort and attitude in everything you do. If there's one thing that we can do in our athletics department, if our kids can leave here with a degree and a championship effort and attitude in life, then we have succeeded. Because when you think about it, that's what you need to succeed. That's what you need to succeed on the field or on the court or whatever it is. You got to have a championship effort and attitude, but you got to have that in the classroom. When they leave here and they go out into the business world, you got to provide great effort every day, and you got to have a great positive attitude about it. And that's what we're going to work hard to instill in our kids, because that's what champions do. And then to all, I'll let you know that we plan on focusing all of our plans, the core of our plans that we do, and everything that we do is going to be based on integrity. Because you cannot have sustained success in anything you do without integrity. And it goes down to the littlest things, from how we turn in expense receipts to how if we say we're going to be somewhere at a certain time, we're going to do that. We all know what is right and what is wrong. And so we're going to focus on trying to do what is right at all times. For the first few months on the job, it's going to be very simple for me. My plan is to listen, learn, and then lead. I don't want to get out ahead of myself without having a chance to visit with as many folks as possible. I want to listen, and I want to learn from people that have been here and understand what it means to be a Towson Tiger. I want to absorb that culture before I go in and start trying to make changes and plans. I need to understand what has happened, why decisions were made before I got here. Once I understand that, then I'll start to instill some of the initiatives that I want to do. Lastly, I'd like to say that not only am I excited to be here, but the one thing that gets me excited more than anything else is watching student athletes and coaches and staff and everybody around that it affects, from the faculty on campus to the alums to the community, and that's winning championships. There is nothing more fun than winning championships. We talk about the student-athlete experience all the time, and we will be focused on that, but that's the one thing I don't think we talk enough about. That's why young people come here to play sports. They want to compete. They want to see how good they can become. And that's what we want to do. We want to allow them that opportunity. We want to give them the resources they need. I want to make sure they have the best coaches, the best trainings and support groups that they can, because we want to compete for championships, because that's fun. So, having said that, I thank you, and let's go win some ball games.
I'm going to ask the whole family, Monica, Nathan, Haley, come on up, please. And we have some gear for you to be able to leave this room in the proper Towson attire. Tim and Monica, here are your new sweatshirts, caps, and other kinds of things. And Haley, Nathan. Also want to bring Don Fry up, please. Tim will be available for questions afterwards, or any kind of media that would like to talk to him, but this is one of the most exciting days in our entire history. Let's once again say hello and welcome to Tim Leonard and his family.
This time we don't wait. An extreme attention to detail. And a relentless belief in each other. Why do we come out here?